Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Dwight Gibson,
I'm Broderick Payne.
and today we want to talk to you a little bit more in depth about Firewatch service. So, as we've iterated on here before, Firewatch service is when your alarm panel is either not working or malfunctioning, and the fire marshal or fire inspector tells you have to go on Firewatch. And Firewatch is literally a human acting as a fire alarm. So from a customer standpoint, what is it that you want in your Firewatch service?
So it's two different type of customers, right? You got some customers that are calling because they're under the gun, because the panel just failed, the fire marshal's in their face, and they're giving them 30 minutes to find somebody to come do the fire watch. The other, and that customer wants somebody now. So, nothing outdoes speed and the fact that they don't have to stand there and do it themselves. And many people try, but they're not licensed security guard from a licensed security company, and they end up finding themselves getting fined anyway. The second individual is somebody who's, next week we're going to stop water flow to the building. The fire alarm panel is still working, but we're going to need a fire watch just to make sure that we're being proactive and doing the right thing in case the fire marshal comes. So, that person also wants somebody not to come, and they don't want any interruptions in the daily, like if it's an occupied condominium, they don't want, just because they got a fire watch guard there, that the residents that live there are going to feel weird because you got some weird guy or girl walking around there. They don't want to have an individual come in there, and because the job of fire watch is kind of redundant, you're walking around, you're checking all clear, somebody's going to be downstairs sleeping in the car. They don't want individuals that are unprofessional in any type of way, maybe on the phone, talking really loud, arguing with their girlfriend. They really want somebody to come there, be responsible, somebody they almost wouldn't even notice that they're there, instead of the occasion hourly check
Want
that they
someone
see.
to literally come and be a fire alarm.
That's it.
Fire alarm is silent, undetectable,
Unless you need it.
and they do their job. And unless there's a fire, then they're loud.
That exactly.
There you go.
So that's what they want. Somebody that comes in and is going to be a professional and not stop their regular flow of things. So I think both customers want very similar things. The only difference is the one customer is calling under the gun when the fire marshal's in their face. They want somebody now. That's the only difference. Is one person has time, the other person doesn't have time. And so I think they both want the same professional service. They want the Firewatch log filled out correctly. And many customers call us not knowing about Firewatch. I went through the books today, and we were doing some outbound stuff, and I looked at the number of people that have called us just with Firewatch. It's ridiculous. You're talking about 5,000 to 10,000 individuals just this year that just called for Firewatch, nothing more. And so, like, when you look at that, and as I was looking through some of the names, the larger companies I remember, because we had to get set up as vendors and stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, it's a lot of people that need that service. Over anything else that we do at Fast Guard, like bodyguards, you got your people that call. Okay. Some people are serious, some people aren't. Armed security, same thing.
So would you say most fire watch situations are 60-40 emergency versus planned?
Yeah, I would say like 75-25.
75 being...
Most of them are emergencies.
Okay.
People don't know what a fire watch is. They don't know who to call. And I think that's the treacherous part about the landscape is you're going to call somebody you think who knows what a fire watch is. Maybe they can talk good on the phone. But when it comes down to the daily ins and outs, this is where people get kind of teed off, and they're like, I called this company. All the guards did was come here and sleep. They were on the phone all night. One guard had a TV set up watching TV, and you try to explain to them that every company doesn't operate like that. But again, if they've never dealt with a professional, they don't know what professionalism is as far as security guard service. Right.
So as far as price is concerned, as a customer, when you call someone for service and it's an emergency and you need someone now, or else they're going to shut your building down, So obviously the demand is higher, so the price is going to be a little higher. How can a customer save money in those situations?
Well, you could save money by reaching out early. Calling Fast Guard. Hey, you guys offer firewatch service? Oh, of course we do. Okay, we're going to put you on our vendor list and have you here. Do you guys have a list of prices and so you'll know what the emergency price is, what the price if you call ahead of time, you'll know all the prices. If there's a weekend or night differential, that's, I think, being proactive in that aspect from a client standpoint would put them in a good place, because the way we do it here at FastGuard, we have prices per state. And so we're not increasing Nevada just because Las Vegas is there. One price for the whole Nevada, one price for the whole California. Okay. More remote locations might require a bit of a drive and might require a little bit different things. So we try to plan for all of that early, so when we give the customers the prices, even if there is an increase, like you call on Christmas night, on holidays, we're going to charge whatever our rate is, time the holiday rate. It's not going to be, we said our rate was $50, but tonight we're charging $1,000. I think that kind of pisses customers off. I think that if I'm a customer and somebody price gouges me, remember when we had hurricanes and people were selling water for like $100 because there was no water down here. I think that people that do that, there's no need for that. I think that if it's an emergency and you called ahead of time and you got the pricing, that emergency rate should have been in the customized pricing, and that's how we do our business.
And then who should proactively take that approach and call us and get on the list and become a client?
Well, hotels, condos, construction companies, associations, so property management companies.
So essentially anybody that has or will deal with the fire alarm system.
Correct. Anybody that, yeah. And even at your home, like we do quite a few homes that have no fire alarm. Maybe they're getting some work done on it, and they got to have hot work watch. They got to have a fire watch guard be at their home while they're getting the work done. So essentially everybody. But if I had to name those 5 to 7 property management companies, hotels, restaurants. Restaurants are really big, and people fail to realize this. They're big because restaurants do what? They open their doors and allow people to come in and patronize them. They got to have HVAC systems. They got to have this. They got to have that, especially if they're cooking with open flames or they got these bottles. So if their fire alarm panel goes down, think of how serious that is and how the fire marshal is going to come in. We seen fire inspectors on the news not too long ago that came in a restaurant during rush hour, and they do a lot of desserts and a lot of different things with fire. Because their suppression system had some problems, shut the whole restaurant down during rush hour of the restaurant. And people were on the news talking about how terrible that was. But the reality is
life safety.
It's life safety. If that place catches on fire and it's jam-packed, the egress, the ingress is all blocked up.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been terrible. So, who's wrong? Could they have waited till another time? Could they have came earlier in the day? They could have, but probably somebody called knowing that this fire suppression system was down and say, hey, there are competitors across the street. Hey, these guys, I know they're on Firewatch. We've seen it on the city website. They're packed over there. So all of these things are open to whatever judgment. But the fact remains that if you need the service, you need to get on the list. You need to find a credible company. You need to find a company that understands your wants and needs.
So how much does it cost to make that phone call and get on the client list and to have a predetermined price for your planned events or your emergency events?
It costs absolutely nothing.
Oh, wow.
There's not a lot of things that are free in life. Getting on a rotation or getting on our list or adding us to your vendor profile costs us nothing, costs you nothing, and we're here for you when you need us. We do have a price lock program that, we have several individuals on. You pay to be in that program for the year. We guarantee if the price is the price, say if the normal price may be for, if you needed an on-call fire watch guard for tonight, it would be, just say $60 in Miami. If you sign up for the price lock, we can say we can get you this service all day long, even on Christmas night at $37.50. Most customers are going to take that.
So how much is what's the monthly or annual cost for the
It's only $100, $1,200 a month, a year.
$100 a month?
$100 a month, and it locks you in because we want to be as aware as you want us to be aware. Like if you have a property and you say that, eventually we're going to need Firewatch. The fire panel, this is a 100-year-old building. The panel goes down all the time. We've learned our lesson paying $100 per hour. We want to be on your rotation, right?
So you kind of gave it away, but I'm gonna segue into it. So a lot of people would say $100 a month, man, that's steep for a service that I may not need, right? So $100 a month is $1,200 in a year. All right. When you call for Firewatch service, when the fire marshal or the fire inspector has said you need to be on Firewatch or I'm going to shut you down, and you call and you need someone there now, and depending on the size of your building, you may need 2 guards, you may need 3, you may need 5, and it's 24 hours a day, and under duress, the price could be anywhere from $65 to $150 per hour.
Even if you don't use a security company.
Like $1,200 is a drop in the bucket.
It's nothing.
Compared to what that weekly or monthly bill would be.
And when you use the service, the fee for that month comes off. So if you paid $100 for that month, we give you a $100 credit. It's a win-win.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So pretty much, if you have a fire alarm in a business, in a hotel, in a restaurant, in a condominium, or a housing association, or a warehouse. Don't forget about warehouses.
Even construction companies, like they're going to need it because they're building things and they're responsible for the property until the property owner takes over.
Right.
So think about the deal we just we just got the email. Hey, do you cover this area? Yeah, we cover it. Well, we would just want to drive by. We had some vandalization, but we want somebody to just drive by. The reality of it is a drive-by is not really going to help you, and that's part of the conversation we're going to have on the phone when we speak to the client. But construction companies use Firewatch all the time. Even if the building is a shell, if there's power in there and there's people in there working, they got to have a Firewatch. Once your structure is up, it's up. They got to have a Firewatch.
Yeah, we've seen several videos of unfortunate situations happening with under construction building catching fire and the suppression system not working, and they didn't have Firewatch in the building, and people, lost their life.
Even Firewatch on boats. I had no idea that was a thing until we got the call from the industry that builds our warships, and these boats are made out of steel, like big pieces of steel, but apparently they can catch fire. And so, when somebody's in there welding, they need hot work watch. They won't operate without it. It's a protocol.
Can't operate without it. Yeah. So if you have a fire alarm system, or if you're a company that deals with companies that have fire alarm systems and you would like to get on our client list and get us on your vendor list and take advantage of the Price Lock program, you can reach out to us at 844-254-8273. You can also reach us online at www.fastguardservice.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, guys, and have a great day.
Have a great one.